Testing. 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 That doesn't seem too bad on the microphone. Dude, Notepad doesn't even... Oh, what's going on with Notepad? It's infinity pixels wide. Oh wait, Notepad won't let me enlarge the font. We've got our special Microsoft application announcement. Yeah, we did some level design yesterday and that was fun. So I'm going to continue that today. I'm just going to heat up some tea water and we will go. Well, water's almost ready. Have I finally watched Ex Machina? Yes, I did see that a couple weeks ago. right. Handmade Hero isn't on yet, is it? It's not on for 15 minutes. How much work do I think still has to be done in the engine to make it shippable? Not really that much. But until you start talking about what platform do you want to ship on, and then like, okay, if we want to ship on PS4, we got to do the graphics API there, and similarly for every platform. But in terms of the base engine, we're not too far. I mean, there's still a large number of things that we need to do, but none of them are like giant, worrisome mystery things. Anyway, so yesterday we were doing these levels involving the purple beam and blocking the endpoint so that you could support people who are walking across somewhere. And at the end of the stream, I had a few reservations about this one. I was like, well, it's not quite what I would like it to be. And so today I want to mess around with improving it and see how much, if that makes the level more complicated or something. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make a new level called endpoint suspend 1 alt 1. Right, for alternate version. And so what I want to do is I want to make it so that, first of all, you can't set up the beam like this, because that's one way to do it. I want it to specifically be about blocking the player. So what I'm thinking is we just need to add a trench like we had before, but you need to be able to kind of go from side to side, right? And the way that we can do that is by making it so that where you go side to side is on the edges, right? So like if I get rid of these and you can sort of walk under here, that's fine, but you can't put the purple beam there, because if you do, you'll never be able to push it south again, right? And then that's all you need to really solve the level. But then for convenience, well, let me illustrate that. This is what I'm talking about. Like, is if people who were watching yesterday maybe know what I'm talking about. So if we have a trench here, actually it can't be there. It would be here. And the reason it can't be in the other place is because oh, whoops. There. It can't be in the other place because you need to be able to, walk over here and push the mirror back out from where it was. Now the problem with this is already, I was going to say already it's weird and not as symmetric as it should be, but we actually can go back to this, right? Because of this. I mean, I guess this is all fine. Like it's, if there's just a 3 pit thing, then you can't ever push. So like the question is, does that make the level a lot uglier? I don't know. So now I kind of think we want more space on the left. Well, this would have to start on the left now because there's no way to get it over. And because it's starting on the left and not on the right, we don't really need as much stuff on the right. Like I would swap these things around maybe. And all this stuff can come in one. You know what I'm saying? And actually, again, for similarity of exits, maybe we do that. And then we expand to the left. Yeah. Let's give ourselves a little bit of room to expand. Let's do it by 2. I'm not sure if we need to. But the idea is, you know, if we do something like this, then once you figure out you need the beam in this row, right? Well, this position prevents you from moving it to the right, so maybe you avoid that naturally. But we have 1, 2, 3 other places to put it, and really 3.5 or 4, because, you know, you could still move it south here. And only one of them has this blocking property, so I feel like the player won't instantly push it here. So this, I'm starting to feel better about this. You know what I'm saying? We might as well go full screen. Hopefully some people were here for the last stream and have some idea what I'm talking about. Okay. And this is very interesting. I like it because, you know, that block that's sitting there is very conspicuous. It's the one sort of major asymmetry in the level, and you're like, that's weird. Why is that there? So then you say, well, let's do the beams. And then you're like, oh, I fall. I don't know, this might be a really hard level. Because just even getting the idea to do this specifically is probably not that obvious. I mean, we might want to make a learning level before this. That's like literally just one instance of this that holds you up. Although it's hard to say. I know Matt was maybe doing some levels like this. Anyway, so now either I can push this up to the wall or I could stand here, and I'm okay with either of those. But you know, if I push it up to the wall, it's okay. We would have some audio-visual effect, like a little bit of attempted teleport particles in this case. But yeah. And then it's like, whoops. It's like, okay, so clearly I need to fill the second column. And, well, there's no block there. So I stand there and the guy can get across. And that's great. I like that one better. I like that better. Oh God, my tea is so oversteeped. Holy crap. This is going to be undrinkable. Yeah, I got to redo my tea. Anyone have any comments, thoughts? Anyone who was here yesterday during the level design stream especially, because you'll know the most what we're talking about. Let's try this again. With like tea direct in the pot like this. 1 minute. 1 minute, not 10 minutes. The beam passing through the block is very unintuitive. Yeah, but the player will have learned that that's how it works from many, many levels before this. All right. So don't worry about the basic beam behavior, because players will have had many hours of playing with beams before they get to this level. Might be nice to expand the right-hand side and put two things in the corners of the left-hand side to make it more obviously symmetric. I don't like adding things to levels to add symmetry, because it also complicates the level. We don't really want to add more things. Although I agree that it would be more symmetric. Do you have spaces which prevent switching between characters? We don't right now. We might add a thing where you can't switch a character until you unlock the space that they're in or something, but we haven't done that yet. I really actually don't like the Portal 2 thing about disallowing portals. I think that ruins the game. It turns it from what could have been a brilliant game into a kind of a mediocre puzzle game. I mean, Portal 2 is funny because of the funny jokes and stuff, but the puzzles aren't that good. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not forgetting the tea. Maybe more than 1 minute, though. Yeah, Portal 1 had better puzzles than Portal 2. There were some in Portal 2 that I thought were good, but they kind of screwed it up. But a lot of people seem to think Portal 2 is a great puzzle game, so clearly people disagree with my opinion. Ah, yeah, this is a good tea right here. Portal 2, the thing that's especially horrible about Portal 2 is when they have code to fix it if you shot the wrong portal sometimes so that you shoot the other portal. It's like so bad to do that. So bad. Okay. But again, clearly, people who designed Portal 2 disagree with me about what's bad and what's not. That's all fine. So I'm pretty good with this. Like, and really visually, in terms of visual symmetry and stuff, I don't want to get too bogged down in that until we do the actual visuals, because that will change things quite a lot. But I do think that what I would like to do is an even simpler version of this that's just for teaching about the purple beam. Or specifically about the blockingness of it. So like I want to do a version all right, so it's going to be narrower. What just happened? It's going to be narrower. There's like one character is going to be totally walled off. Should I make it 3 characters? Like I kind of just want, okay, here's what I want. I want a purple beam with someone on it. Let's make it not too claustrophobic here. So this just can't go left. She could push it around. Actually, no. There's just one place for it. Okay. Thief doesn't have the gem up here. She's over here. All right. This is just locked in. Okay, no, let's move the level this way, right? And we've just got one of these, and this mirror is here, and it can just be pushed back and forth through this hole. That's it. Because I want to make sure that people, I mean, this might not be that much of a problem ultimately, because depending on the context in which people encounter this level, we might have other things with beams going vertical, but you know, we're going to have an interesting situation here where it might not be clear to people why the beam going vertical in this case is what they want. So there's actually, and by that I mean realizing that the fact that it's blocked is why the character can walk across the top. But that's, you know, that's what also keeps the level from being super dumb. It gives people something to think about that then they get elaboration on the next level. So really, I was going to put this gem down here, but we'll leave it there. Okay, so wait, did I not put that in drafts? There we go. Okay. So I can pretty much only do that with this character because I can't go anywhere. And then I fall, and that's sad because I need to go across. So, oh shoot, right. So she will disappear off into infinity unless I depower this. She can get that. She can see this angle. And there's really not a lot of places to put this, right? And as long as you put it in the right place, then the character can get across. So I like that because it's very simple. Okay, now of course I've trapped myself on the wrong side, so I can't solve it that way. This character has to be on this side. Because the power is going to be on when the thief is here. So it's got enough grit to it. So I'm kind of happy with that, honestly. Let's do a recording. There we go. Sometimes levels can be really simple, you know. Someone asked me yesterday, does it always take you this long to design levels? And the answer is no, it doesn't always. You know, there's small questions like, should that room on the left be 3 by 3? But I think so because it helps. Now we have 3 sets of 3 by 3 rooms, which is interesting. And you know, it also suggests the idea that the beam could be in the open and not blocked, but it's not. But that's like more of a subliminal suggestion that people may not get. 2 characters on top with gem, 1 character with mirror, and move purple beam left 1 space. (3x) exit portal. I don't understand the suggestion. Top should probably also be 3 by 3. It can't really be 3 by 3 because, I mean, unless we're sadistic, because we want to give people the ability to depower the gem if they make a mistake, and you can't do that in 3 by 3. Not sure if you get that the rock is providing the platform, but you will then when you get this. So first of all, there's going to be some additional visuals that would at least connect that with that square that aren't here yet. But then when you get to this level, it'll become clear because you'll be like, wait, I did the same thing I did on the previous level. Why is it producing a different result? What's the difference? And then you could figure it out. That's the whole point of these. This is to introduce that holding you up ability, and this is to confirm it. Okay, so we actually like these. We're going to take these and we're going to put them here. And I'm going to delete the note about needing more work because we don't need that anymore. I'm going to put Not as controlled. Okay. That's a party. Let's check that in. Woo-hoo. Why do people ask me every day if I'm interested in Artifact? I always say no. I need to make a FAQ. In the top 3x3, the thief can move the gem. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you. If this was only 3x3, right? Whoops. And you had like this, right? This is what's being suggested. Okay. So you could pull the gem onto there, right? But then once it's on there, the only direction in which you could depower this is by standing here and pulling it this way, right? At which point the thief is trapped and can no longer repower the gem, right? So 3x3 is just not enough space to be forgiving. I mean, you could make it so that, like, hey, you have to know what you're doing and not power the gem until the right time, but like, that's not what the level is about. So we're allowing experimentation, right? It's a trade-off. Like, if you for some reason really value the 3x3 layouts, right, then you might make that trade-off and make the level harder and more annoying. I don't value the 3x3 that much, right? Especially because I have a strong idea of what this level is about, and making it hard, adding it. Okay, so what someone asked a minute ago, what makes puzzles good, right? Arbitrary constraints and arbitrary difficulty challenges don't make puzzles good, all right? So like adding a constraint that, like, look, you totally have to pull the gem only at the right time and not too soon, makes the puzzle harder, and you might think makes it more interesting, but it defocuses it, because the point of this puzzle is to communicate shooting the purple beam vertically. That's what it's about. So adding things that you have to figure out that are not what the puzzle is about make the puzzle worse. You get what I'm saying? Like, the more that you have to think about things that are not the thing that we're trying to present in order to solve the puzzle, the more the puzzle is defocused, and the more that people won't come away with a clear idea of what it was about, right? And one way to make a puzzle game really good is for people to have a clear idea of what every puzzle was about. Is that 1.7 second compile time for the entire 100K LOC for the entire game, or just updated portions? That's a full build, non-incremental of the entire game. However, 1.7 seconds is actually pretty slow, all right? I haven't been working on the compiler, and so I've let some stuff get slow. We're going to optimize that again till it's under 1 second. Can I please show the to infinity port? What port? Do you mean the part where you just go in the beam forever? That's easy, right? Whoops. Oh, I moved these. You know. So if I push this to the side, for example, and I power the beam, I can just like disappear because the beam just goes off forever. But I can now not win the level because I only have one character, or 0 characters. If the beam is 1 space left, you can have a character teleport in and move it to the wall. Yes, I could, but then they can't ever get out. So there would have to be an exit there. And again, that's adding an arbitrary puzzle solving step that isn't really about what the puzzle's about. Because the point of this puzzle is just to say, look, there's this thing that can happen where the purple beam can levitate you. Isn't that weird? And then in this level is the thing where it's like, okay, here's how the purple beam, the reason the purple beam can levitate you is because it's blocked, and you have to like know that in order to solve this, right? So we're breaking this idea into two parts, right? And then of course here it gets involved in a different way, like the blocking occurs in different ways in all these levels. Do I have ideas about the visualization of a character teleporting to infinity? It'll probably look like any character teleport, but to infinity. Exception to solution space reduction is invent a solution type of game, whereby solution space needs to be almost infinite. Yeah, I would classify that as a totally different genre of game than this one, though, right? Like Zachtronics games they're puzzly, but they're creativity puzzles, right? Whereas these aren't creativity puzzles. These are tests of grit and cunning or something. I guess that's also, I don't know how to explain the difference. How long does it take to compile the compiler? I don't know, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's slow because you're using the Windows linker. Well, no, I mean, the Windows linker has always been slow, but our compiler has some things that are apparently super linear inside it. And that's expected. It's just we haven't gone and profiled and hunted them down. So, you know, it's fine. It's just part of what you expect. It's just that I haven't worked directly on the compiler in a little bit because we've been doing game stuff. Why is there a physical particle effect when the thief is on the floor, but not when the beam is redirected by the mirror? Because the other effect has to do with falling, and falling is a different like motion path. And, you know, we'll do that stuff later. I mean, I could maybe do it today, but I'm going to write that on the paper. Papillon is saying there are some games where you only solve the puzzles, but they have no point. I would say that's most games. Most puzzle games, at least prior to the past few years, didn't have this thing about the puzzles having a point, right? I think it's very rare that a designer really even understands that it's good for puzzles to have a point. Have you ever had experience playing NetHack? Yes. Okay. So I guess there's some more stuff that we could do with purple beams. I have a note from yesterday about mirrors in different directions. And I guess beams in different directions. And so that would be like, one annoying thing about moving these into playable. All right. So it would be, I kind of don't know how to do it because any north or south direction is going to be automatically blocked by the column. So it's trivial. I mean, in this case, south would have to be the third one. I mean, we could do something. You could really open it up. You could have these be like floating. And whoops. You know. Just gonna get rid of this stuff for a second. Remind me not to accidentally save this over the old level. I keep making them the wrong color. Anyway. I don't know what the dragons would be doing, but, you know. So we might have like a mirror and a mirror and some beams pointing different directions. It's just, I'm not sure how interesting it is. Oh, this could be an intro level. Okay, let's have a party with this. Okay, this could be an intro level where it seems trivial, and then we can have a lot of fun with the variants, like hey, we still have that problem where the player blocking it makes things trivial. I need to figure out what to do with that. Anyway, so you have these three mirrors. See, if this guy can rearrange things at will, then this character can just walk straight across. Like, you only need to do one at a time. So, like, you need a way. That's the problem preventing freedom of this kind of design, is you need a way to just prevent the character on the bottom from rearranging. Now, you might get that from beam obstruction because, you know, like I was saying, you have to be careful. Like, while the power's on, you can't push one of these to the left, for example. So you might have a puzzle where you have to go left. Well, okay, you can't push one facing right from going left, right? But you can't, you know, it's similar for all the other ones, but in the direction they point, right? So if you have one pointing that way, and one pointing that way. I mean, let's just try this. I don't think this is going to be very interesting. Let's say, let's try this. Why doesn't this always work now? It's weird. Oh, maybe because we hadn't finished saving the level, so it failed to load it. Okay. So like here I'm screwed because I need to push this south and I can't do that because I keep just teleporting to it, right? So this has to be off, and I mean, it's probably kind of a trivial puzzle because it doesn't really matter where I put these guys. It just, because I have so much space. Like, maybe making the columns Not solid is a mistake because it gives me so much space that I could just do this. Right. But that didn't even have to be in that order. We could have put those in any order. Okay, now if the columns are solid, then in this level, I can't really solve it without rearranging things anyway, because like in order to hit a mirror oriented along the y-axis, like I would have to maybe go from here, you know, like if I had, unless I make more space at the bottom of the map, which I might do, you know, so I could do this right now, and then, you know, there's no place for this mirror. The purple light at the bottom of the screen is probably just a rendering bug. Yeah, rendering bug. Yes, I bailed out before getting my CS degree. Have ever come across a situation where that ended up being a disadvantage? Yeah, one time when I tried getting a job at a very consulting-y place, but that would have been bad anyway. So yeah. Settling for a 2-mirror puzzle. Well, why though? Like, there has to be a why. What I'm looking for is what is interesting about this. Like, in principle, the different directions should be interesting. And the question is how to find that. So, like, yeah, I could make this work just by moving the exit and have it be a 2-mirror puzzle, but it's still not interesting. I mean, by the time you get this late in the game, figuring out, you know, where to is kind of trivial. Okay. One thing we're not doing yet is a 3-space gap, right? So we could have like, you know, you need to set this up. That's a little bit interesting. Because here, so what's interesting about this is like, look, I'm actually using the beam to block the endpoint, or the mirror to block the endpoint, which we haven't done yet in any of these, right? And then this one we're using the wall, and then here, oh, and okay, actually, we can do this. Because by the time you cross this, then I have to break this pattern in order for you to fill this final gap, and you have to do that while the beams are live, and that's going to be a little bit interesting. It's not like super interesting, but maybe we can do something to make it more. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? mean, let's make sure this is solvable. Right, so I turn on the thing. I go, whoops, okay. We got to block this. That's fine. And then I just have to, while the power is on, we can add some interest by making it hard to get to the exit after whatever. Okay. So if I push this one further to the south, that's bad because I won't be able to push the mirror. So I've got to do this. And then I go here, and then I go there, and then and then I have to block it, right? Or I could have just pushed it there. If I put the exit there, then you can't push it there. Oh no, this is fighter. I could make it someone who only pushes one thing. I could make it thief on top again. So this seems kind of interesting, right? Just in terms of giving you an interesting thing to do. I think this level would be better if it were rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. Well, we don't have a way to rotate levels right now that's not a pain in the ass. I might put that in. I mean, if we're going to rotate this level, we maybe want to rotate all of them. Maybe. Yeah, it might be better. It's true. I mean, you'd want the camera angle to be a little higher here. I guess we don't need to physically rotate the level if we make the arrow keys work. So let's, we're going to do that later today. We're going to make the arrow keys work, and then we can just make the primary camera be on this side instead of worrying about rotating the level. That's the more intelligent thing. Because right now, if I push down arrow right now, my guy goes to the right because he's going just along -y. How would I recommend people on learning game design? Play good games and understand why they're good. What do you think about generalist game developers? I don't know what the question is. This is not even close to final art. Are you kidding? This is not what the game looks like. All right. So let's try to make this a little bit more interesting. Let's just, like the problem is, of course, I know the solution to the level. So, you know, that always just makes it a little bit interesting. Like, what would be a good place to put these? Like some kind of pattern like that is pretty interesting. Whoops. Selected the wrong thing. So like this. Okay. Let's say the level is not this big. Let's say it's like that. And then the reason I did that is because then these can be, it didn't seem very symmetric, but it still doesn't. I don't know. Sometimes there's just not good choices. I mean, if we make this be the standard camera, then this looks much better. Yeah, I think that's much better. Okay. Okay, unfortunately, this pattern of mirrors that I picked is the exact ones that you push over there. I don't, you know, there's some kind of meta about you don't always want to have things be the opposite of what they need to be, because that's just annoying and it's a tell. But you know, just having it be the same may make the level a little flat. Okay. So somebody might go like, well, like just try arbitrarily solving it. Like, okay, there's a, oops, that's not thief. It's like, okay, there's a, ignore the beam rendering error there. You know, but I should realize, even as soon as I look at this, that anything else that I push in is going to block that mirror. So I need to move it there. And then obviously, if this mirror is the next one, like if I push it one south or east in this, then well, I mean, I could try that, right? And it's of course not going to work, because where do I put the third one, right? Well, I could be like, it could be like that, and then of course I'm like, well, I need to get this one in there. And I'm now blocking that beam, which, not sure how clear that is, but you know, we'll have a particle effect or something, or a sound. The rendering error is not really helping. Like you wouldn't see any purple on that middle thing if once we're rendering the beams correctly. Oh yeah. I wish that character wasn't missing so many animations, because we're using her a lot. Okay, so clearly, I mean, whoops. I can't undo after a reset, because we never put that in the game. All right. So, I mean, we were there, and, well, we would just figure out what to do. So I want to do something with the location of the exit. Okay, so this is statically solved. Like, I don't need to body block at all to make that work. However, okay, I could still push from here. So I guess it doesn't matter that I didn't do the body block. Yeah, I would like to have a little bit of a gotcha for the point of this last square is to have a little bit of a gotcha somehow. And I'm not sure, I am not sure how to do it. Okay, maybe this corner square into which I've pushed this thing is filled. So it's in the next square over, which means I would never be able to push this mirror out of the way. Yeah, like, okay, so suppose I do the following. For purposes of symmetry, I'll just do this, right? I could have just moved these. Let's leave it that way. And just so I don't have to resolve all this every frickin' time, we'll do this. Put it in the starting configuration. Okay. And then let's say this exit is here. So then I have to body block on the exit in order to solve this level. Because she gets there. And then I come down here and I'm like, and I can't actually get through there. Okay, now we're interesting. Because look, I can't see. Oh wait, I never got the alternate viewpoint. Where did I put it? Anyway, so I can't actually, like if I go south here, I'm behind this column, and then I go off to infinity. We could be non-mean and put some stones under here so that you don't go off to infinity, but so then the question is, okay, I put it under this mirror. That's what happened. The question is, how do we make that a puzzle? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. I mean, the solution right now is pretty simple. So instead of pushing that one out of the way, right, you push this one out of the way, and then you get this one from the other side. But that's still a little bit of a gotcha on the last one, and that's interesting, right? And then I could come over here and push this out. I can push that in. Or, you know what? I've been single-minded about this whole thing. You don't really... It doesn't have to be the left pointing, the right pointing one that goes down there. It could be the top one. And that's more, okay. Imagine that I had a block like here. I mean, I was kind of thinking maybe I could force you to use this one, because you can't use this one because this guy has nowhere to shoot from. If I just put a block here, then you do have to clear this out while the power's on, but then you could just push this south and left and down. If I put all blocks in all three of these, then you just can't do anything. Like once these are in place, Oh, wait, warrior. Hold on. Hold on. I think warrior can actually push in this instance. What happens? Oh, no, because the mirror is blocking the beam. Right. Never mind. Is the tab to rotate viewpoint going to be in the game? Yes, it has to be there for the more complicated 3D levels. What if the end goal for the top character wasn't in line with the block overhanging the top section? You have to somehow use mirrors and end beams to go diagonally. That is a good idea. We'll design that after we finish this one. Yes, that is a thing that can work. We might already have that with double beams, because there's a way that double beams can levitate you, but maybe not. I honestly don't know what levels exist right now. There's too many. What if the vertical mirrors are facing toward each other instead? But then you can't do it. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm thinking, there's like 3 levels to do here. So whatever the gotcha is at the end of this level, we figure that out, and then that's good. And then we do the same level, but where there's only 2 mirrors, right? And once this first one is in place, so you have to go first and then second. And then while you're standing on the second and it's powered, this guy has to push this mirror around. And south. I don't know if that's solvable. I think you need at least 3. So maybe the next level after this is like there's a 6 wide and the same set of mirrors, and you have to like because once you have the third one, like you can't put a top as 4, but you could come in from the side, and then they can. We'll do that. That'll be fun. Let's just finish this one, though, first. I'm going to add ray trace reflections for the mirrors. Probably not. Probably not. All right. Well, I mean, maybe this is good enough. Let's just see. So we go, and we go, and then I mean, so if I move this one out of the way, like I could solve this a different way, right? I could move this out of the way, I could move this down, and except it's a little bit hard and interesting. Okay, if I move that there, to block that beam, then I can't get around behind, right? So if I move this out of the way and move this like, I don't know. Let's say I get that guy out of there. I could use this to block that beam that's going to happen. I could put this guy there. Oh no, I can't. Okay, hold on. That's got to go there. You know, this is... This is interesting enough. Whoops, I'm doing the wrong thing. I put the wrong mirror. I put the wrong mirror. Okay, that's going to go there. This one is going to go back to block that. There's probably a much easier solution than this, of course. But and I didn't really need to block that anyway, because I pushed the mirror into place first, and then she can... Whoops! Oh, right. I got a body block now. So that's interesting. Like, it's a little bit messy in that there isn't just one solution for this last part, but maybe that's fine because it makes you think, right? It's like, okay, so if I'm going to do the original one that I was thinking of, then I'm just trying to get this middle thing down to the bottom. And to do that, like I could do this and then push it out. And now the problem is I will block my exit. So I need to get this guy out. And then I go. And then, oh, well, I forgot to make her go initially, but, you know, pretend she went. And then I exit. Does anyone see any other solutions to the last gap that I should be thinking about? I said I code much slower while streaming. How is it streaming level design? It's just different. I don't know if it's slower or faster. Like, deep thinking doesn't really happen very well during streaming, but sometimes you don't need deep thinking. Sometimes you got to play with ideas a lot before you're in the right position to do further deep thinking, right? And that's kind of where I am, is the combinatoric explosion that happens in this game is so big that we kind of just have to play with it more to make sure we have a grip on it, you know? Could get the middle mirror into the gap. Well, that's what I did just now. It was the middle mirror solution. Right? So the only one you can't get is the bottom mirror. I'm gonna call this done for now. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it maybe could be a little cleaner, but let's just set up the level again, and we'll do a camera run on all of these after we're done designing them. So I think I wanted to do this and this. And there. Right? So when we look at it from here, doesn't look too bad. I mean, maybe we even put the... What happens if we put the exit here? Let's do that. Try it out. Okay, so pretend I'm a veteran of the game. Whoops. That's got to go there. That's got to go there. Whoa. Oh, I turned on cheats accidentally and didn't turn them off. So I'm walking through walls. All right, so this has to go on the exit. And that's interesting because something's going to click in my mind when I do that, right? It's like, oh, I have to push this onto the exit. I better fix that later. Okay, I'm gonna body block this one because I will have known before I get here that I can body block these. And that may make it easier. So now I know I have to get off that exit, and I know I have to put a mirror there facing up. So no matter what, I have to go dig that guy out of the back. That is without question. What's occurring to me right now is just to do this. We could make this level slightly smaller if we wanted it to be more annoying. Then this beam would be one square over facing up, like here, and that might get in my way more. Okay, but anyway, so from here, it's actually pretty straightforward. Is there, but like, I kind of just knew what to do, right? So that's fine. It's just I'm managing that square of empty space. Whoops, whoops, body block, there. It might be a little too easy because this is a multi-push fighter. I don't know. Okay, what was I just saying? I was saying, what if this level was one square less big in the X? Like this. Let's see what happens. I feel like this is going to work okay. I mean, it's maybe less freedom for experimentation, a little bit, but maybe that means you just got to think about it a little more, but I don't know, man. Oh, I didn't do the body block version. It's fine. Oh, I forgot to move this guy out. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting because now I can't push this beam. Oh, to push it to the right, I have to come around this way. If I wanted to do the yeah. It's a little bit interesting. Actually, yeah, because if I'm here, I teleport past it. I don't know. We're just getting that beam involved a little bit more. The level might be solvable if it's even smaller, but that's kind of pushing it. I mean, well, okay, the thing is, we do have like all this space we're not using to start. So we could use that and make the level even smaller. Let's try that. Whoops, getting confused about where in the selection I was. Oh yeah, all right. I toasted this part of it. All right, this may be a mistake. Let's see. Like if you make things so tight that it's annoying, then it's bad, but we do have all this space over here to work with in the early times, so it's like, whoops. And again, with a camera angle that allowed me to see this better, it would be easy, right? So, like, this is enough space, I think. And then this really encourages me to do the non-body block version, but that's okay too. I don't know. What do people think? Is this the final form of this version? Cleaned up? Can you pull? One character can pull, but none of these can. This textures is not good. Dude! We're designing levels. This is not what the game looks like. These textures are not good. There's no textures in this entire level. Of course the textures are not good. What are you talking about? Don't come in here if you're going to insult me by saying, oh, all the random users need to make your game look good because you don't know how to. Jesus. Jesus. The way video games are made is that when you're designing gameplay, you don't worry about how things look yet. That's universally how games are made, because how things look depends very heavily on playability. It works this way in puzzle games, it works this way in shooters, it works this way in everything. Shooters, white box or gray box or orange box, depending on where you work, their levels in exactly this way to determine how it should play, and then when they figure out how it should play, you make it look good. Why don't you procedurally generate the levels? Because they will be crap to play if we do that. You can't do that in a puzzle game. Can the player change the camera position? Yes. There are fixed camera positions. So for example, this thing here lets me go to here. And as we've been saying, this is probably a better camera position for this level and probably most of these levels. I mean, a little bit higher up camera. And then we would give you this side position as a secondary. Right now, this is primary and this is secondary, and that's probably not good. Do I follow 3 blue, 1 brown on YouTube? No, and it's just because I already spend so much time on the internet that I don't really watch new things. Do I have a blank beam which would negate other beam effects? No, but there is an alter beam that changes other beam effects. None of the graphics, even in the better looking levels, are final, but the better looking levels are much closer to final than this. All right, we're going to call this the initial version of this level. Okay, now we're going to make one called endpoint suspend direction swapper, in which okay, it's this one. So in this one, there's going to be a 6 gap. So, and maybe that's the whole thing. So we need one more square, and Well, we can't put the exit one south of there because that'll be unsolvable if... Anyway, let's just see how this goes. So now it's like, actually, is that enough squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. All right. So I've got to do the same thing that we just learned how to do. To start, if I push, whoops, that's the wrong one. If I push the bottom one any further south, we won't be able to get it out. Like if I push it down here, then we're screwed because, well, maybe not. No, I think we do need it. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So she can go 1, 2, 3. If she goes any further, she's just going to fall, right? So that's as far as she can go. So now that she's there, yeah, this level will look cool from this camera angle. So this is the one that we want to encourage for sure. Okay, so the problem now is that we need to frickin' hot swap. So we need to put more stuff where that purple beam is. So I think we need to hot swap the frickin' purple beam like this. All right? And that's, again, that's a rendering error in the middle. You wouldn't actually see any purple. You wouldn't see purple here where I'm standing. Okay, so you've got to hot swap it, and that's pretty cool, right? I think you have to hot swap it, unless I'm missing something. And then, so I can't ever use this purple again because I can't push it south. I could use it again if I had initially pushed it south. Let's see if we can do the puzzle without it. So I also can't use this. Oh no, it won't work. Because this beam will be blocked by this middle guy. Oh, you know what? You don't need the middle guy at all. I'm kind of being dumb. All right, so like, you just need these two, right? So you set this one up here. Whoops, not like that. Set that one up there. 1, 2, right? Whoops. You have to body block it or something. Oh God, if he ever moves out, okay, that's interesting. If she's here, she's okay because that one's blocked. But here, he has to body block this one. If she's gonna be there, if he ever moves, she'll fall. That is an interesting thing that we could use on different levels, right? See, this is what I mean about exploring the space till you're an expert at it. Because we don't really have that much in the game that constrains a player's position. There's like the switches that you could stand on to open force fields. But those tend to only matter if another player needs to be standing where the force field is. And so this is a different thing. And that's exciting. You could use the other mirror to block, yes, but then you'll also block the beam, right? So what I was saying is, like, look, you can just make this thing. I was going to say you can just make this little 2-bagger and push it south, but you actually can't, which is good, because I was thinking that that sort of wrecked the previous level a little bit as well, and it doesn't. Well, I mean, maybe there is a way in which it gets wrecked, but let's try this the way that I was talking about. So I'm going to push this guy all the way down, because then there's something we can do. Okay, so here, 2, 3. So she's, whoops. Oh God, okay. No, that was the body block version. Body block version is no good because this guy needs to move in order to move things around. So, but that's okay. He can push many objects. So she is there. Now, this one is not needed. So I could do this. Okay, I can push this. I can push this to the side. So now I can hot swap by doing that. So this is a rendering error. There's like now 2 solid beams. Now the problem that I have is we need to do something better for the 3rd beam. Like, if she goes onto the beam to the right now, let me, yeah, clean that up. There we go. So if she goes onto the beam that's to the right, then the same hot swap that I did would then push that beam, that beam projector on the right there. It would push it into that hole and lock it up, which might be fine. Like, we could change the level design so that that doesn't happen. Because once that's in there, we can't ever put a mirror there. And in fact, we would never be able to put a mirror there from the side right now. So the level's going to be unsolvable anyway. But I just had an idea for a whole other level involving double beams that we may do today. How many blocks can the guy push at once? This guy can push infinite blocks at once. If only you didn't use the south-facing projector in the beginning, you could push a whole stack. I was thinking that, but the problem is you can't push the whole stack. Like, I could still move that out of the way. There's no problem there, right? Like, I can move these if we want to keep going. The thing is, I can't push this guy south at all, right? Because I need to be standing in the wall, which again, we could change the level to make it possible, but we would like it to be as much like the previous level as we can. So, okay, this is interesting because I'm going to have to go into the 2nd dimension to solve this, all right? So here's what we could do. is, I don't know, something like this, right? And she can go there. Oops. Frickin' body block is the problem. I mean, if I use this mirror, oh, that blocks the beam, of course. Okay. So this doesn't work either. I was going to say, well, it could be a thing where you zag over and then zag back. Maybe if there was a boulder or a crystal in this level, you could do this. How about 3 south, then west 1? Why is west 1 any different from east 1? If you switch dimensions while running, will the key's orientation change after key up? It's a good question. I hadn't thought about that. Whether it should change during key up. I guess it should change at each key press, yes. Okay. I feel like this level might be actually solvable. Like if there was a crystal, it would definitely be solvable because I could do this swap and she wouldn't fall because there would be a crystal there. Okay, I think it's solvable. Check this out. We're going to go, I'm just going to move this over to get rid of it. We're going to go there, 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 there. So she can go there. There, right, so there, and then she can go there, and whoops, I'm controlling the wrong character. We can go there. My problem is, okay. I need to have pushed this guy that I'm standing next to further north because I can't push him north. I don't think I can swing it right now. Because, you know, if I try to push him, I just teleport, right? But if he had been further north, and there's no reason for him not to be. Like, I could do this for a second. Let me start over from the here, because that'll be clearer. Okay, so here I can do this, there. I can just get these over there where they're not causing any trouble. I can go here. She can go there. And then, so this inadvertently ended up being the going sideways level, I think. All right, so I can let her go here. And then there. And then, see what I'm saying here? Nope. Nope. The undo system gets a little confused in cases like this. Okay, I have to get this mirror that I'm standing next to over to the right without her falling. I guess I could do this. The thing is, I don't, you know, they have to be next to each other because I can't body block. All right. So there. And then dude, it's hard enough to get 5 squares. That might be so far I'm only traveled 3 squares. So I feel like if I started with the regular 3 square and went straight here and then did some sideways. Oh, the problem is the regular 3 square buries the top. Yeah, okay, so you can't do that. This is fun. Okay, so how do I get one more? I can use sideways. I could clear this out. Okay. Oops. So this can go over there where it's not going to cause trouble, hopefully. And then okay. I don't think we're making it 6 squares at this rate, but maybe. Oh, we can definitely make it. Wait, from here. Once you've got this configuration, whoops, sorry. Once you've got this configuration, I can just push, do that, and go. So if it was just 5, then I win. Let me try with my new experience solving the 5. Right? So what I determined was you can't do the initial 3 because that buries your guy at the wall. So you've got to do this one. Sideways has to go first. right? And then let's not push that yet. Well, right, if we do this, we can... Like, what stops us from just cheesing it this way now, right? So here, and the answer is just that we get to here, and now, well, now we have to go sideways no matter what. And I'm already screwed because I can go sideways, I can push that south, but then I'm going to be one diagonal from where I need to be, and I can't get back there to like, oh, I can't. Like, I need a beam to be going up where that purple beam on the right is, and that'll be impossible. Yeah, I know this is not the same configuration as before. I'm trying to solve it more simply than I did in order to see, because, you know, sometimes you're convinced that something's complicated and you're just overlooking something, right? So I started with the idea, why can't I just push this thing south for a while? And I probably can push it for a little bit, right? I probably can push it up to here. And then I have to do something interesting, and like, that's probably fine, you know? Like, I don't mind if people push it a little. So now my issue is I have to like repurpose, I have to repurpose this mirror. See, I'm kind of, oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I almost thought I was stuck, but like this can go and that can go, and then I'm just trying to get this over there. So now we could step sideways. But now that we have stepped sideways, this stuff could come out, and we can swap back to the side mirror. This will be a lot more nice when all the rendering glitches are not here anymore in the beams, but you know, one thing at a time. Can't make a whole game instantaneously. Like, all right. So now we've done a thing where we just swapped back, and then I can hot swap this. Like, this is definitely simpler than what I did before. Whoops, wrong character. It's still an interesting solution. It's not as crazy. What if you use the south-facing beam and mirror? Then the side-facing mirror and beam from the start. I think you would get stuck because you're trying to go south. So and it's on the south wall. So you don't really, after some point, you don't really have anywhere for the south beam to shoot from. Did I really use the south beam in this solution? Let's rewind it a bit. I did. Yeah, there. I don't know how necessary that even. Let's try to do it completely without the south beam. I don't know if that's possible. Okay. It would have to be this guy first, no matter what then. And then we're not using... Oh, wait, I was thinking the beam pointing north. Maybe you meant the other one by south-facing beam? Do I enjoy making the puzzles or engine more? Engine programming is sometimes a brutal slog, so I kind of enjoy puzzles more. That said, sometimes puzzles are a brutal slog, but not as often, I don't think. I'm going to try doing it without the beam that aims north. I said south beam, but I'm trying to do it without the beam that aims north. But I can't because, yeah, I can't. I need to use it, and that's good because you need to use all three. Because there's no place, for the south beam, I can't put it in any direction from this sideways beam without sticking it to the top wall, and then I would have to body block. And so that's not solvable. Yeah. So that's good. I like it would be fine anyway because it would be kind of a red herring. That it's a lot like the previous level, but this is good. Let's record tests for these couple. Oh, I didn't record tests for the learning level and the alt. Let's not forget about all this. Right? Oh no, I did record a test. That's this one, right? Yeah. Okay, we didn't do a test for this one. Let's record a test. Oops. Whoops. We have to put the mirror there and go back and body block. And this guy goes and... All right. Boop. Great. So then the other ones we've done endpoint suspend directions. Whoops. No. Let's record a test for this. I didn't push that far enough. No, go there. Go there. Go there. Go there. And go there. And then we go there. So now, what were we saying? We were saying that we like it. I mean, this solution was fine, right? Oh, no. Whoa. Okay. That was an illegal solution. We have to fix that. What happened was we said, hey, all the exits, all the characters are on valid exits because one of them disappeared to infinity. That's no good. We got to re-record that. I think it'd be cool to have the game's credits show some of the most challenging puzzles being beat by the player. Solutions replay to the most memorable puzzles. Oh, that's interesting idea. Yeah. All right. We're trying this again, people. Let's not screw it up this time. People are counting on us. Boom. 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 I don't really need to push this out as far as I did. And we do the... And I'll go from this side. Okay. Great. Test that. Bam, balam. And then we'll do this one. We will record, and if I recall correctly, we do this. And then we wanted to use the guy at the bottom. Let's just get this mirror somewhere. Oh. Oh, I guess we were body blocking, right? So we do this, and then, so she goes there, and then I hot swap this for 1. She goes there, and I think we determined that we're in trouble if we do it one more. That might not be true, but yeah. So right. Did we go this way or the other way? I think you could go either way. I mean, we tried a lot of things, which is why I don't totally remember. Okay, so now that we've used this one, we don't need it anymore, and we could swap back to this guy. Right, and then we can hot swap this, and she goes Whoops. And then this guy goes. All right. The undo. So the problem is I didn't record a timed test, and she fell, and then that screwed things up. So I'm going to record a time test this time. The non-time test would have been fine if I didn't have her fall. Okay, let's try this again. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Whoops. Let's get this mirror out of the way. And go 1, 2. Whoops. Right. 1, 2. We're going to have to do a test later because the undo system sometimes undoes an extra move in that case. And when we change that logic, all these tests with undos are going to start failing. Okay, instead of her going sideways, we could hot swap it in this direction. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh no, that's too soon. Okay, hold on. Start over. Okay. So she is there. Now, let's try bringing it this way. She's up. Okay. And now, whoops, we can, isn't it great how I'm doing this slightly different every time? Okay, so we're there, and now I think we're done with the guy pointing north forever. Probably, maybe. Well, I'm not going to be able to push him again if I go any further, so we'll stay. Ugh. Yeah, okay, so let's just do this, because we could do this, and then we hot swap it, and she goes, and he goes. All right. Cool. Does she push inside another beam? Will she still float? Well, you can't push her. because you're down. What happens if you push the beam? That's what I did. I pushed the beam. Since the replay system is the same as the one for the editor, it's not actually. Ever consider the undo in the game is the same as the editor, but the replay system is not the undo system. The replay system plays back inputs because you want to test the gameplay code. And if you just copy the states that went into the undo buffer, you're not really testing the gameplay code. Ever consider getting Super Meta with a rewind feature for a puzzle where a solution involves a sequence in which elements were added to the level design-wise? That would be a totally different game, dude. That could be a cool game, but that is not. This game is already going to be so hard to finish, we can't add stuff like that. Sorry about the fan noise. When I got this PC, it was supposed to be a really quiet fan, and then now the fan has gotten loud. I'm not sure if I can like oil it somehow or how to deal with it. I never seen Cars 2, so I don't know what Cars 2 is about. No, this is just this level being idle. You know what I think it's time for? I think it's time for chai latte cam. What do people think about that? Yeah, I rotated the mic slightly, like I think maybe if I keep it rotated the right way, it won't necessarily pick up the fan as much. I don't have any cupcakes here, but I do have the makings for chai. And I want to do an experiment where I double heat and froth the chai so that it's even hotter. It might be a disaster. Let's do that. Let's set up chai cam. Yeah. Chai cam is in progress. I just had a very serious milk spill situation. You see the things I go through to make this stream good? All right, chai cam will have it here. I took away the thing that I was balancing chai can on before. This may not work out. Do we use a tripod? What do we do? Chai can is going to be problematic. I could bring back the thing that I was putting it on. Oh, actually, this will work. Okay. So let's get the thing. Is that a good angle? It's fine. And we'll get some milk in there. I hope I don't have another serious milk spill situation. Oh yeah, this is going to be too much. Oh, we got a milk drop situation on the lid. This is going to be too much. Too much milk. It's going to be like a chai and a half. And we're going to froth it extra. Okay. Why isn't this rotate? The cable tension is... Cable tension is dangerous business. All right. Okay. Actually, okay, we need a vote. Should we do chai latte or should we do peppermint hot chocolate? Which this is the package of. What's the vote? Peppermint, peppermint, chai mix, peppermint. The people are saying chai latte mostly. Okay, we need like a straw poll. Does someone know how to set that up? Because we're going to be heating the milk for a while. It's going to be another several minutes. Straw poll is up. Okay. Vote your votes. Everybody wants chai. Nobody wants peppermint chocolate? What? You people. You people. I agree it's rigged. This is rigged. It's okay though. I like chai latte. We should make it so that elite frequent flyer club members' votes count as 5 votes. All right, I did announce it as chai latte, so let's do that. I think, just like CNN, we're going to call the result of the election before all the votes have been tallied. Okay, let's get some. And a little more, because we want it. We don't want a weak chai latte. It's not how we do it. Oh, the milk's getting warm. But we're going to do it extra. What syrup do I use? This is Maya Chai standard flavor, which is a little too sweet for me. I'm going to try sometime their less sweet flavor. But the reason I picked it is because I was at Roasting Plant in New York, and their chai was really good, and it was this kind. So chai powder tastes nicer than syrup. It depends. I mean, you do get that grittiness from the powder. That's nice. All right. We have the results of the election. While the milk is heating, we're doing more levels because, well, this one involves going to the side. Should we try to make a completely diagonal one, or does this cover that? Like, going really far diagonally seems like it might just be tedious. Like, diagonal, you can actually just do with two of the mirrors, right? Because the thing about diagonal is you never need to do the swappy push like we did. So you would just put sideways and then north and sideways and north and sideways and north. And then you just have to end on sideways. It doesn't seem like it will be that interesting. Okay, round one is done, but I'm going to froth it a little bit more. Oh, it's getting cloudy in there. Oh boy, we're playing with fire. We've got the lid off. We're going for extra piping. What about going around a wall? Like, just around a wall for the player on top? Like, I feel like that's just going to be more operations. It's not going to involve amazing discovery, you know? Now we could turn these into double beams. That could be interesting. Diagonal with the bard below. The bard can't charm these beam projectors is the problem. The bard can't move the mirrors or the beam projectors. Oh, it's getting so hot. Person at the top has a beam generator where they need to drop at the right spot to be able to finish the puzzle. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how to make that interesting. Because it can't, like in the line that you're trying to travel along, I mean, it would just be a matter of you push it down there and the fighter moves it to where it goes, which is fine, but it's not going to strike to the core idea of a level, I don't think. All right. Oh, boy. Okay. That's going to be enough. Chai latte can with frothy milk. Oh yeah, we gotta spoon out a little bit of the. Yummy. And then we'll leave the little bit of extra for after I drink a little bit. How am I going to stir that? Well, when you pour it in, it mostly stirs, but, you know, I could like, I could get a little fork in there and swish it around a little. It's no harm. The froth covers for you. Wouldn't it be better to pump the syrup into the stirring device? Maybe. I have never experimented with that. I don't know if it makes it like harder to clean or anything. Maybe we'll do that next time, though. That's an interesting idea. This one actually should be very easy to clean, so I think we will try that next time. Dude, so good. Let's get the rest of the froth on there. Okay. Ever drink tea with the tea leaves? Yes, in fact, I just did earlier on stream. Put the camera back. You want to see the empty milk thing? That'll just make everybody sad. Whereas the full, warm, wonderful drink will make everybody happy. It's so warm. So warm. Oh. Okay. If a beam is being mirrored upward and there is a block at the top, does the character just float under the block? Yes, that would happen in this case, yes. Which you could probably make an interesting level out of. Like, I feel like there's an interesting body blocking level to be made. Let's make a double beam version of this, even though it's not directly on topic. So the rules for double beam are a little bit different. There's no question of body blocking or anything. And we would need a much bigger gap. And this all needs to be lower. Whoops. I guess we can delete those. Needs to be even one lower. Which is going to be less dramatic, but that's fine. And then I think you could probably go a lot further, but let's just try this one. Okay. Whoops. I left a block. Okay. So I mean, this might be trivial. So first of all, we kind of have to trash one of the mirrors because... Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. Okay. Okay. So they have to be like 2 squares apart. Yeah, this is trivial so far. I could just throw these away. I can do this and that. Right? Unfortunately, the rendering glitch is making this harder to see, but just imagine that this second beam is full. So we go here to there to there, right? So we need to go... That's actually the interesting part of this, is we need to go an odd number of spaces. Which you can't do at all. It's like completely impossible. Unless, okay, it's completely impossible unless you do burn one of these initially. And, right, if I do this, now this mirror cannot be used anymore. But it's still kind of trivial, I guess. And people might do it this way by accident, right? So I'm here, and I go there, there. Well, the thing's too high now because I didn't lower this. So that's too easy to be interesting. But there's various monkey wrenches that we might be able to throw into the works. I just did the double beam switch a minute ago. Why is she floating? Okay, because these are double beams, and the way that they work, they also have a teleportation effect, but unlike endpoint beams, they mean that any movement goes 2 squares, right? So if I'm here, if I move, I'm going to teleport over the next square to my right and go an extra one. See? Now the reason she was floating is the following. If you put the mirror there, there's a mirror 2 squares below her, and that's kind of holding her up. The way we draw the mirror, it doesn't quite look like it would hold you up because there's like no side. We're going to probably put side rails on it and stuff so that it looks more like there would be something to stand on. But like she's standing on a thing 2 squares below her. That's the rule for double beams. So now while she's suspended in double beams, it is impossible to get to this exit square. It's kind of like chess where there's only certain squares a piece can go to, right? Here they're just 2 apart. If I don't allow you to put something under, if I do allow you to put something under, like it is now, it's actually trivial. So the question is, how do we do it? How do we do something interesting here? Is there anything we can do to is there some special code holding people on the 1 thick ground? I mean, it's the same. Always, like if you're, when you move somewhere, we check to see if you're supported, and the check to see if you're supported looks some number of squares under you, which is 1 if you're not affected by beams, it's 2 if you're affected by a double beam, and so forth. Change the location of the goal, move it aside a few positions. Yeah, we could do that. That still just ends up being shuffling the mirrors around, and you don't even, well, I guess you do need all 3 right now. But I want something tricky. Okay, well, there is a tricky thing that we can do. So there's a thing called the alter beam. That makes you go 3 when it intersects with a double beam, right? So we could put an alter beam off to the side, like this is alter, right? There we go. So then you kind of have to go to the side, go 3, and then go back, right? So let's do this. So now It's a little bit interesting because now that forces this beam to the back here, and I can never move it off again, but I don't need to move it off again. So here now she'll go 3 because she's in an alter beam as well as a double beam. Boop. And then, so this is still a little bit trivial. Oh, whoops. We went a little too far. I admit it. Oh! Right, she's still in a frickin' alter beam. So she's going to go 3 again, which still messes you up unless we can... See, we have to, like, disable the alter beam. And... that's probably not good. Like, it would add a lot of complication to the level to make that possible in some way. So this would put her off in X and 1 off in Y. Is there a way? Or no, it would fix her. It would fix her in Y, but put her off in X, I guess is what I'm saying. Because she was 1 off in Y to start. So, like, just to illustrate what I'm talking about. Whoops. Wrong character. Oh, now I've painted myself into a... oh no, I can do this. So this needs to be here. And now she's 2 from the exit, but she's also 1 off horizontally. And there's no way to fix that. Can't you just walk along the triple beam? Well, you certainly could, but oh, if you manage to triple beam twice, like if you set it up so that you triple beam once vertically and then twice horizontally, you would fix it and be able to win. We would need more space to make that happen, which is fine. You need 2 beams because they need to be an odd number of spaces from each other, which is fine. I mean, let's try that. Oops, I just reloaded the level. Now I have 2 copies of the level. So let's just say this is gonna... dude, I don't know. The problem is for this to be aesthetically really nice, make it work. like there would be an even number of skips from each other, which is not necessarily good. I mean, let's just straight up give you space. Like space. Whoops. I didn't mean to keep all the old things selected. Let's try this again. All right. What am I even doing? I do not know. Okay. So I mean, we want to put more space on the left as well, while we're being honest, because you could go 3 from there, and we don't want to prevent that. Then, because there's frickin' double beams everywhere, we need extra insulation. Like, you don't want you leaving the level. Okay. Let's fix our camera. Okay. How did I end up with these? Am I stupid? All right. So now we have a situation where well, you go there and then there, and you have some choice about what to do, but if you hang out on the left of the level, it doesn't really help you. So now we want to go right. So, whoops, going 3 south, whoops, will invariably force this guy to the south end of the level. And then, oh wait, it does need to be symmetric. This guy's in the wrong square. Oh, no, he's not, because we'll go 3, right. So now we need to go 3. I'm not sure how amazing and interesting of a level this is, but it's not the worst. So then this will go there, and she can go there, and this can go back there. Ta-da. So that's a thing. I don't know. I don't know what I think about this. You only need one triple beam if it runs east-west instead of north-south. Why is that? I don't... Oh, right. The problem with it running east-west is that it'll cross the entire level, and then you could just do it in the middle. But I guess doing it in the middle is fine. I don't really want to restrict the movement of the mirrors anymore. Let's try the east-west triple beam. I think we would be negligent. That's someone who wears a negligee. We'd be wearing a negligee if we didn't at least try it. And we might do something like, we could have a column here with a rock on it that like stops the beam if we want to force you to go off to the side and use it or something. Okay. So now we go from there. Oh wait, we've put it in the wrong spot. We need it one more this way. Or one more this way. That's that you can't triple onto the wall. Of course, you can double onto the wall until I do all this. Let's just see. Okay, so okay. Our side camera view is kind of jacked now, but we'll fix it later. Wait, we missed it. I was wrong about how many I moved it. Come on, bruh. Okay. There. Let's keep trying this till we get it right. Okay. So... yeah. Okay. So we want to go, we actually, oh, see, we don't have enough room in the map to put it here. Yeah, no, it's not true. It's not true that you can get by with one horizontal. So no matter what, so even if I add more room to the map, once I jump south or north 3, I'm on the wrong grid and I can never use this guy again. So it doesn't actually matter. I should have, like I thought this at the beginning, and then I was like, no. It doesn't actually matter what direction the beam goes. Because you're not, like once you use it once, you're no longer on that parity, right? You need to get on the other parity and not parody. This seems okay. I mean, it's a little bit weird in the way it looks, but you know. It might be time to do a gaming stream, frankly. And then we come back and do, or no, I guess we wouldn't do more levels in the next stream. We would probably do the keystroke programming and the camera angle changes that we were talking about. Oh, wait. Dude, these walls need to be super annoying high. Like, these need to literally... Well, these ones. Like, anywhere... Oh, no, because you can... Right. She's like standing up here and she could like double. So you don't want her to be able to double on top of the wall anywhere but here, which means the wall has to be higher than that everywhere. This is going to block visibility in the current incarnation. I mean, we could always put it on water. If that's too annoying. Like, it just seems like a frickin' fortress. Oh, right, and it needs to be too thick, because if she gets... I would rather have this be on water than do all this. I don't know, we could change the setting back later if we really want. So now, if you go outside the map, you just drown. Which is fine. Or... No, you know what? Okay. Since it's rectangular... No. Okay, we could set the map extents correctly in some dimensions, but not... Yeah, okay, we're going to go with the water for now. And if we don't like that later, then we don't like it. Just don't drown. Certainly seems clean to do it this way. It's just if all our levels are on water, it's a little boring. Gonna copy these to just give us a little bit of sinking into the water feeling. You could also use fire instead of walls, but yeah. Right, or it could just be, if it wasn't walls, it could just be like a one deep pit that you can't get out of. Or it could just be a bigger, no, because if it's a bigger floor, oh, even if it's a pit you can't get out of, if you push a double beam down there, you can like try to double past the pit. So those feet type things on the edges were cool. Well, I mean, the way things look will change, right? I don't know. This is a weird level. Probably needs more thought. But let's record a test for it. This one isn't that good. I don't know. Haha. There should maybe be something at the end involving, I pushed it too far, but that's okay. Involving using the double beams for the warrior to get where he's going. Like if he had to use the double beams for himself, that's slightly better. Like I mean, it's a little bit beside the point, but this is not that imaginative, but no, that's trivial. Yeah, it's trivial. I don't know how to make that part interesting without making it a whole separate puzzle. You can do it with one triple beam because you want to do 2 sideways steps and one. Oh, you need to do the sideways first. Right. You want to go far enough in one direction that you could do 2 sideways in the same direction. Once you leave the beam, you will not be able to Okay, that makes it interesting. That makes it interesting. Right. So once you leave the beam north-south, you will not be able to re-enter it. But you've got to fix your horizontal parity before leaving the beam. And the only way to do that is to give yourself a run of 6 squares. Okay, I like that. That actually gives it the spice. Let's try it out. So well, it's on the wrong square, isn't it? Yeah. So you've got to go like left. If we make it so that you have to go left 2, I don't quite have enough. Pop. Okay. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It couldn't be on this row, but if it's here, so you go. No, because if it's there, you're in it the whole time. I don't like that. Okay, well, we expand the map vertically. So you go here, here. We're going to expand the map. We can't expand it 1 vertically because that changes the parity. See, the problem is, if I put it in this row, then you're in it the whole time. And actually, the level becomes trivial because you don't ever have to go sideways in it, right? You just go south, and then you do a 2-bagger here, and you're done. So we don't want that. We want you to have to go sideways in it, right? So you can't start in the beam. You need to go and then go into the beam. So now here, so say you go here and then you jump 6 and then you get out of the beam. Well, there's not enough room to get out of it south. So you've got to go north. And the problem with going north is now we've got a mirror up against a wall and can't get it off the wall, which was one of the design constraints that makes the level interesting, right? So the level needs to be bigger. It could be 2 squares bigger, right? So that adds a little more busy work, but well. All right, we do this, do that. Actually, we're not going to need the whole level, right? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll go this far for now. I think we even need 1 square less than that, but okay. So let's try this. So we're going to jump out of the beam south. Okay. So now we need 2, 3. Uh-oh. Oh, right, I did it wrong. That's good. It's interesting, right? Because you get stuck there. So if we do this, I'll show how we get stuck. So if we do this, it appears to be fine. Whoops, did I put it in the wrong square? Yeah. If we put it in the right square, it appears to be fine. But then when I do the next one, now one of my mirrors is stuck on the wall, on the edge, right? So now, so I can't fix my parity by going left again, because that just puts us where we were, right? So I have to fix it by adding, not subtracting. And that puts me here. And now the problem is I can't get back, you know, like getting back would have to involve going this way. And now this guy's stuck on the wall. Whoops. Right. Keep moving the wrong character. So now this guy's stuck on the wall too, and like nothing can go anywhere, right? So that's cool. That's actually fun because you feel like, oh wait, I see how I'm an even number of squares from the thing now, but I'm stuck, right? And so what then you had to do is give yourself actually more room way back here. So instead of being antsy and jumping to the thing here, I need to go one further than it appears that I need to go, and go there. And then I could do this. Oh no. That sticks, oh, that sticks one of our beams on the left, but that's okay. That's actually okay. Because it's the mirrors that have to, whoops, it's the mirrors that have to not get stuck. Oh no, but see, the beam is going to be blocked by this middle mirror. Oh God. Oh, no, watch this, watch this. Watch this. So we're going to push this south, we're going to double, okay. I'm going to push this here. Now, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to hot swap this beam. All right. Do you smell what the rock is cooking? That kind of makes it more of an expert puzzle, honestly, but if that's where we're at, then that's where we're at. So then you go, and then right? And then we win. Whoops. Oh no, because we block, right? We can't block her there. So we have to get this beam around the other beam, or we have to do a hot swap. We could do another hot swap, I think. Yes. This is an easier hot swap. Right, we do this, and then we do that. That's a bug. I don't I don't believe she's supposed to move in that case. I don't know why that's happening. What's this level called? Double suspend. Hot swap bug. Let's see if we can solve the level without that bug. So without the hot swap, really all I have to do is get this beam around the other beam, which is really not that hard. I just do the same trick that I did before. Uh-oh. Oh no! Except, okay, wait. I do this, right? And then I do that, yeah. So we don't need that second hot swap. Oh, except we do. There's no way without a hot swap, and the hot swap is broken. Because, yeah. Well, we can leave this one in drafts until the hot swap gets fixed. That'll be an interesting thing to see. Because I believe the rules are supposed to be spec'd such that you fall in that case. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe you're... Because if it's supporting you, if you're like standing on it, then if it moves, you should probably move. Okay, let's see if this is solvable. Because I only have 2 mirrors, I can't really do them in a different order. Let's see if it's solvable by... okay, so here I have to do, yeah, and here I have to do, we have no real choice about this. Okay, so now, right, then this basically is the end where we had a sticking point. Well, what if instead of trying to go straight for the goal, whoops, I try to go this way. I want to know if I can like go to the left. Whoops, I fell on the bottom. Oh yeah, no, this works. I just had to untangle it a little. So that hot swap thing is still a bug. The second hot swap. We needed the first hot swap, as far as I know, to win the level. Let's try again. I suppose it depends on... which mirror I start with probably determines, like if I start with this one, I probably fail, right? Let's see. That might make the level harder, but that might be interesting. I mean, maybe it just has to be... Oh no, that's... Okay, let's finish this recording. And then we'll try it the other way. Okay. Oh wait, oh right, because it's blocked. Oh yeah, this is where we needed the hot swap. Right, and we can't do it here. Wait, no, we can't do that. I did the hot swap before this, right? Hold on. So I think last time I just went this way. I want to see what the difference is. So we go there. We go there. We go there. Whoops. Okay. And then... Wait, how is this the same as what I just had? Okay. Oh, right. This was the hot swap that I did. I don't know. This level... This could be too hard, honestly. Okay. And then... Whoops. It's got to be one more. Okay. And then I did this trick where I went back. Whoops. Once I do that, I'm screwed. So there, there, and then there. This seems really hard. Okay, now, so if I start, that time I started with this one. If I start with this one, then am I ever going to know that I'm doing the wrong thing? Like, that's something that makes levels just really unreasonably hard, is if an arbitrary choice at the beginning makes things bad in kind of an untraceable way. So let's see. So here we're going here. Whoops. I messed it up. So I'm locking this on the left again, but it's like in a different way. Wait. What am I doing? Okay. So now my problem is there's no way to do this hot swap trick. In fact, I can't even get to the right. from here, which might be fine. This might be an early enough stuck that I'd be like, maybe I should try the other mirrors. It just doesn't seem super clear. Can't you swap from below? No. Swap how? Oh, wait. Well, we might hit that hot swap behavior that's questionable. Okay, no, see, that time it worked. Okay, you're right. I was just being dumb. Oh, wait, we need another. Okay, and then... Right, and now we do the same swap that we did before. This doesn't in actuality seem any different to me. Why is it not different? I thought I was alternating which mirror I started with. I mean, I'm fine with that. Whoops. I'm fine with it because I don't... Whoops. I don't want the level to be crushingly hard because of, you know, something arbitrary like that. So that's good. Right, so we can make the level shorter by 1. As someone in chat just said. Because we never really use this right-hand side. And what I want to look at is if that... Okay, I dig this. Whoops. I need to set the frickin' ocean values. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit weird. It makes it more lopsided. It already was lopsided. Actually, so the problem, I don't think I want to do that. And the reason is, I don't want to hint very much that like, oh, you should go really far left in order to solve it, right? Like, I want people to not know that unless they really figure it out. If you hear what I'm saying. All right, did I ruin the test? Probably not. Apparently I did. Oh, because I moved the objects. Let's fix this ocean map. There we go. That's why I didn't drown when I went off. Oops. All right. Now if I go off, I should drown. Oh, well, if I teleport off, I will drown. He doesn't want to go off voluntarily, but if I go, all right. So that's good. Now, let's re-record the frickin' test. And our theory is it doesn't really matter. Let's try this one again. just to see. I'm still not sure why it doesn't seem to matter which one of these we start with, but that's okay. Oh, it does. Oh, right. No, because I do the, okay, that's why it's, if I start with this one, I just have to do this swap here. Whoops, prior to the big hot swap. And if I do it the other way, we just do the big hot swap. This one, right? Like at this point, it's the same. This last part seems hard to figure out. Whoops. Not that one. No. Stop being confused. All right. Great. Matt 66666. Send me your name in a whisper and I'll credit you on the level. Will this be on mobile? I don't know. Maybe. It depends. Like the whole, how do you make money making mobile games without being a scumbag who releases excuses for games that are really 100% microtransactions? It's not clear. I guess bug occurs in negative directions, assuming that's coordinate space mapping. Maybe. I don't know a reason why that would be true offhand, but because I have no idea why it's happening, I'm not going to discount that explanation because I really don't know. Maybe you should add back one tile on the right-hand side so that it's symmetric. I think if we make it symmetric, like, I don't mind having a small hint that left matters. If we make it symmetric, is it possible that it would be too easy because you could go either direction? Like right now, if you go 2 to the right from your start point, then you end up on that right-hand border and you're stuck. So you have to go 2 to the left. Maybe that's not the interesting part of the level, like we say sometimes, right? Maybe the interesting part is the hot swap situation, in which case maybe it should be symmetric because it shouldn't really matter if you go left or go right. Except, doesn't that make, weren't there some solutions earlier that we had to avoid because we would have stranded our mirror on the right-hand side? Wasn't that a thing that we would lose? I'm not going to risk it for now because I'm getting tired. like I need breaks after grinding level analysis too much. So I don't want to mess this level up. It's in a good situation. Okay, cool. Matt sent me his name, so I'll credit him off the stream so he doesn't get cyber stalked. His suggestion was using a horizontal beam, the horizontal altar beam, which, okay, so I had thought about that in the beginning myself in the silent thoughts that you go to, but I had concluded that it wouldn't work. I was like, why wouldn't that matter? It's a symmetric situation, but I was wrong about that. It actually does work. And so if he hadn't like suggested that and explained why it makes sense, I probably would have ended up with a level with 2 beams on it, at least for a long time. And so it really improved the level to have 1 beam, I think. And in fact, that's what it jumps it to the next level of interesting, right? Because when there's 2 beams, it's like, oh, obviously I got to use both beams, right? But what's interesting about this version is, you know, you have to jump horizontally twice before you jump vertically, and that's interesting to understand. Let's add a little, and you know, frankly, before we did that, I was a little bit bummed about the level. I was feeling like, oh, it's not as good as I would like it to be, but now it's good. So let's make a little bit of like a, oh, that's saturation, lightness. Let's just hint a little bit or help people play. See, it's not going to be symmetric no matter what, because like this line that this thing is on is different from this line. So that's just a little navigation help when you're on the ground about seeing where you are. You don't need a hot swap if you go right at first. Well, in this level, if you go right at first, now you get stuck. Oh, wait. If you go right Oh. I don't know if I like this level as much without the hot swap. Let's see. Right, so by going right at first, obviously we mean like doing this to make space. Let's try it. Whoops. Put my thing in the wrong place. Okay, so we go there. We go there. And now we do our left. Right, because it's easier because we're going left. Well, so we're not gonna block ourselves. I mean, it's probably, oh, well, this is the interesting part, right? So here we end up stranding our guy again. And we're like way over here. I don't know about this. Okay. So if I push this guy down to the bottom, I strand him. And then we may be screwed because they can't get past each other, but I could do this trick. Except I can't really, because now I'm not convinced this works. There's got to be a way to do it. Like, how do I get these over without shutting down the beams? Got a hot swap, I'm right, but the theory was we don't need a hot swap if we went right first, but I don't think I believe that unless we do something differently than what I did. Can I unbump my mic? Picking up fan sounds again. Okay, is that better? I don't know why that would be much better, but weird. It's so weird. Okay. Can't this level be done without the women moving left or right? Just go straight down from the start. Yeah. Why did we say that would... Oh, no. Yeah. I think. Let's just try that. I forget why we convinced ourselves that was impossible originally, but... It might be, well, let's not do that yet. It might be something that we then took back out of the level accidentally because we forgot it was important. Oh, wait. Okay, so this one gets us into the beam like that, and then we need to go 3, and then we go 2. Yeah. I think what I was going to do was block it so that it can't go through the middle. I'm not sure that such a blockage wouldn't ruin our solution. Because the thing is, this beam, yeah. The thing is, this beam needs to go across the level because you need to take it twice. Bummer. Just put a crystal on a pillar there. You mean... No, because the thing is... Oh, right. I see. I see. Well, I think you need to be able to push stuff. Let's see if we can actually put a pillar there. So it's where the white spot is. We do push stuff through there, but let me just see. It doesn't actually need to be a crystal if... see, this just ruins a lot of things. Now it's like, oh, obviously you got to go sideways. Let's see if we can even solve it. All right, this level is not baked. So now I do some slightly more annoying things to move this. Not that bad. So this hot swap isn't going to work because it required pushing something through that square. That said, maybe the obstruction is floating. Maybe it doesn't go all the way down. Yeah, it kind of, to me, just ruins the aesthetics of the level. I don't know. So I can't do this hot swap here because the ground square is occupied. What if I move the exit point a bit to one side so it's not aligned? I mean, as long as it's an even number of squares. No, I mean, it doesn't matter because then you would just do a little bit more orange beam. You wouldn't go straight down. Okay. There is another version of this level, right, which is not this one, which is the following. Why can't this? Oh, I'm so tired all of a sudden. Okay, so you put a frickin' rock there that blocks stuff, all right? And then what happens is you do a triple from the unblocked to the blocked side, or from the, yeah. And then you go back over there with the doubles, and then you do a triple again. So it's like doing a round trip. Then we don't need as big of a level. It's a little bit more obvious. I don't know. I like it a lot less, but I mean, the other one was so exploitable that we just can't have that, right? So like something like this, and then there, and then, oh, we need to hot swap it here because we can't do what we need to do with the other. Oh, I didn't hot swap it correctly. There and then there. Okay. Because we need this one, except it's one more square over. Oh, so we could have used the other one. Never mind. Because it's a 3-bagger, right? Okay, so from here, oops, from here, wait. Yeah, I mean, no, this doesn't matter either. Okay, the horizontal beam just doesn't work fundamentally because you don't have to go horizontally in it at all. You just go once vertically and you're fine. So like I was doing this 2 round trip thing to cancel out the added square, but you don't need to do that. You just, once you're in the beam, like so, then you just go directly to the exit. Yeah. So it has to be vertical beams. I don't know. The whole horizontal beam thing doesn't seem to work. Does the game have lasers that point straight upwards, or do you have to use a mirror? Right now you have to use a mirror. We could put in beams that go straight up. I've thought about it. We just don't have that right now. If we did, that would make this level a lot simpler, but that might not be a good thing. The rainbow beam is an alter beam, which changes the effect of the solid beam. All right, I'm going to take a break, and we might do some blackout later on. We might fix the camera for all the levels that are done. This one, I guess I have to retreat to the vertical beams, because I don't, right? The thing about the vertical beams is you go 3 squares and you're still in it. That's the thing that actually, you go 3 squares toward the exit and you're still in the vertical beam. That is the thing that forces you to take the horizontal offset, right? Otherwise, whether you can go straight through the beam or have to go sideways, you're not actually forced to take the horizontal offset with a horizontal beam, unfortunately. But make the 2 vertical beam version again first. I'm tired, man. I want a break. I've been level designing for 4 hours and I've only had 1 chai latte in that time. Just hit undo. That's a lot of undo, man. I mean, let's see. Oh, it wasn't that much undo. Really? I was doing all that with the 2. All right. I guess it wasn't that much undo. Okay. So later on, we start back here and try to figure it out. If the exit is offset by 1, you would have to do the funky stuff from the right. Do you mean offset by 1 in X or in Y? If it was offset by 1 in X, then well, it depends. If it was at the same position in Y and offset by 1 in X, then the level would probably not be solvable. Because, well, no, or it would be trivial, right? If it's offset by 1 in X in such a way that you can just jump once in the beam in each direction and then you get there, or a 2-square jump from there, that's not that interesting, because the whole interesting thing was like, hey, you're on the wrong parity in X, right? If we take that part out, then it's just more bleh. This version is pretty bleh, though, also. So I don't know. All right, let's see who we can raid. And in science and technology. Not Capcom fighters, that's for sure. Oh, Handmade Hero. Hope he's not done. See y'all later. We'll do another stream in a little while.
Properly processing your input. For example, I would highly recommend looking up the analyses of modern games where like they do a camera and they like push a stick inside and look how long it takes the character to respond. It's like 17 frames or something like this. You know, so you can certainly do way worse than your frame rate, but you can't do better. You can, like I said, you can interior sim if you want to, which can improve the accuracy